Hello everyone, I'm Praveen. In this video, I'm going to explain about GitHub Boards. In my previous recording, I have explained about GitHub and GitHub Desktop. Please go through that video as well. For that demonstration, I used my own GitHub and I have created a repository for Uber services project. This is the project that I explained about creating a project and pulling the latest changes and making new changes, committing those, and pushing it to the main repository branches, all the actions. Now I am here to explain about project boards session. By using the project boards, we can create an issues to keep track of every activity that we are doing in our project work for references. Okay. To do that, navigate to the project session. This is visible only to the uh, project owner or a GitHub owner of this account. So click on a new project, select the boards, create a new project. This is the uh, basic default template created, and we will update this later. And firstly, I wanted to start with the updating title, which is not meaningful here. Uh, we can provide yeah, Uber service boards in our case, and a short description of your project board to make it more readable, and saving the changes. I'm also making this as public one to make it visible to everyone who are accessing this application. Okay, so and in manage access session, we can invite collaborators or a team members or a group members of our project to create a new issues and work on that issues, sharing their status and everything. Only collaborators can able to see these boards. We can search with their GitHub account username and specify their roles, whether it's a admin or read access or a write access. After that, we can invite them. By clicking on this button, they will be notified with an email. In that, they have to approve that invitation, accept that invitation, then they will come under this manage access session as a collaborator. We can change their roles in further also. Okay, and in status session, uh, initially we have to do's, in progress, and done sections. So I wanted to remove this one and follow in other way, which is I follows print one to do's, sprint 2 for sprint 3 items, and in progress item. Under review and completed tab. I will explain why I am following this in next. So I don't want this one, so I'm deleting. Yeah, this is the format I'm following. When we go back to the project boards, we can see the created sections for a sprint 1 item, sprint 2, sprint 3 in progress in item. Basically, in our software engineering project, we are taking an existing project, adding an unique features into that. That's our work, right? So example, we have 12 unique features, which means 12 user stories. Out of this 12, in a sprint 1, we are planning to do it in 4. In a 4 user story, each user story have a separate task, which are smaller work item, which can be helpful for tracking our work as well as easily estimate those. Okay, So if you are working in all these items in under these sections, if we are working in a specific one item, that will be comes under this in progress. So that in daily scrum meeting, scrum master can able to open this board and take your update easily by specify by seeing this item that which one you are currently working with. Once that work is completed and which is in your local branch or in feature branch, if you wanted to add it in a uh, remote main branch, but it's under review, in that case you can add that work item into the under review session. Okay, which means you have created a pull request and which is under review by your scrum masters or a product owner or a team lead. After completion of this review and when you merge it to that main branch, then you can uh, move that work item into the completed session. I will create an issue so that you can get a clear understanding of this one. Okay, so to create a new issue, I'm navigating back to the repository. So in the repository we have an issues section beside of the code, and in issue we can create a new issue here, and here we'll specify a title of a work item and description of it, and we can optionally add some pictures and everything for a bug reporting and everything. So yeah, in a title I have some content to add it for the time sake. This is one of the user story that we can add for my case. As an instructor, I need a session to upload my video recordings with a drag and drop feature so that I can realign them at any time. This is one of the feature that I'm planning to do with this application, um, so that I can mention this title, and in description this is the acceptance criteria and estimation time of my project. Estimation time is usually calculated in different ways. The most popular things are t-shirt measuring method and AWS sorry Amazon story point method. In t-shirt measuring method, it's like a small, medium, large, extra large, like those things we can specify based on its complexity of this work. And in story points method, it will follow Fibonacci series. Like one story point means half day, two story points means 1 day, three story points means 2 days, and a example 8 story points means 4 days. Like those things we can specify. These story points are not fixed. We can uh, it will varies on the depends on project work and their organization follows. And acceptance criteria, it will discuss about uh, how our project will looks like at the end of the submission. This acceptance criteria will provided by the business analyst from the taking requirement from the clients. So we have to develop our work according to this acceptance criteria. If this acceptance criteria is not met with our project work, so quality assurance team will analyze those things and raise a defect or a bug. Okay, and right now I don't have any person to add, and I wanted to add it in myself, so I'm selecting mine myself and label of the work. This is a user story that I mentioned, so I'm selecting as user story. If you can't find those labels in this list, you can optionally add a new one by editing the label and creating a new label and displaying it here. So I have it, so I'm selecting. Yeah, and project, which project board this item is assigned to. This is the one which we uh, recently created. So all these items will be in this board, so it is easy to track. Okay, and milestone, we'll discuss about this milestone in a bit. So as of now, these are the required information to create an issue and submit the issue. So this issue is created now. We can see these issues in project board also. In project board, when we navigate to the board, we can see it in the no status section. this is the one that we created now, which means this is not assigned to any of the item. If you wanted to do it in a sprint 1, so you can put it in here. If it's sprint 2 item, here sprint 3. If you are currently working, if it's in sprint 1 and currently working, you can keep it in progress section or under review and complete it, depends. So I'm keeping it as sprint 1, and in sprint 1 I have user story. To split this user stories into a smaller portion, I can create a tasks, okay, and link up this task into the user story. We'll do that. To create a new issue, we can create it from the repository issue session, or else we can also do it in here easily. Click on that one and add. We can create a new issue or import it from the other repository or the other boards. We can do it on both ways. I wanted to create a new one. So for this one, I wanted to create a task. So I have this task, which is database creation for uploading files into a blob. Okay, and estimation time and acceptance criteria. This estimation time is medium. I choose, depends on the complexity, and acceptance criteria how it looks. Yeah, that's it. Create a new one. So open it and assign it and check it as label as task and boards. Oh, we'll create a milestone also. Okay, these are the required information, and now we can link up with this task with this user stories. Okay, so to do that, we can open this user story and go to this description section, edit this thing, and at the end of this one, end of the description, we can select this option, which is adding a task list. And in task list, by specifying hashtag, we can see the list of work items available. So I wanted to link up this work item into this one. We can specify the name, number, or else select it from the list available. So I'm selecting it. Okay, after that I'm saving it. See, you can see that this user story have this task. Similarly, we have multiple tasks for user story. Once this task is completed and merged, we can click on this one to make it complete. Okay, so yes, close the issue. Yeah, if the task is completed. Okay, so pull this back to the end. This is completed one. So like those things, we can link up the user stories and tasks. So we'll discuss about milestones also. Now I'm going to the project repository boards, repos, and in issue session, we have milestones. In milestone, we can create a new milestone. So milestones are the deadlines for this task completion. In our case, we have 3 milestones like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, and we can specify a deadline, due date. For example, September 3rd is the sprint 1 deadline, and creating it. Similarly for sprint 2, maybe October 24th, and sprint 3 deadline. These are milestones. November 14th, maybe. Yeah, these are the milestones we have, and there is no work item assigned to this one. Let me assign those things. For example, this I am assigning to sprint 1 milestone. Okay, because it's sprint 1 to do item, right? So, and in a completed this one, this also I done this one in sprint 1. Okay, selected. Yeah, when we go back to the milestones, issue section, in a milestone, see here 50% of the work is completed since we have planned two things. One is one user story and task. One is closed and one is still open, which is under work. So the 50% is completed. These are doesn't have anything. So similarly, we can track activity of our work. If the due date is approaching sooner, we can identify the completed items and in progress item and to do items. Okay. And in project boards, I wanted to tell one more thing. We can create a new views for this project work. Uh, this is the board view, right? Similarly, we can have a tabular view. In a tabular view, we have a columns like a title, whose this project is assigned to, and status of that work, whether it's completed or a sprint one item. Optionally, we can add multiple things like a labeling and which sprint it's assigned to. Like we can filter these things also. So these fields are added but not saved, so I'm saving it. Okay, so when we open it next time, it will display these things. Okay, so if I wanted to filter all the tasks uh, with a sprint 2 item, so select the things and filter by value and select the sprint 1. So only sprint 1 items will be visible, like this in milestone sprint 1. So only assigned to the sprint 1 will see in the board at the time of Scrum meetings or when a product owner reviewing your work. Okay, and you can change the assignees depends on the workload or a requirement. So all these things. Okay, we have other thing also, which is roadmap. Yeah. We have multiple views to do this one. Okay, so yeah, those are the things that I wanted to discuss in this video. Thank you for listening.